Oh, yeah, let's talk about it. Sorry, did I scare you? I think I just scared myself. Listen, we have a little quote from Geurschon Yabusele that I'm probably going to blow way out of proportion. We also have another rumor about the Sixers leading up to the NBA draft. This rumor is the craziest rumor, and I'm going to find the original source of the rumor. You're welcome. Rumors are for middle school females. Well, I'm going to say this. The fact that the first thing you thought of to make an analogy was middle school females. Hello, FBI. All right, let's get into it, man. Yeah, hit the like button, though. Hit the like button. What else? We're going to do the Geurschon Yabusele thing. We have a new rumor. We're going to find the original source for it. Oh, yeah, Gilbert Arenas said something absolutely insane on his podcast, and I'm going to react to it, dude, just because. Okay, let's get down to business. Hit the like button. Did I say that already? Geurschon Yabusele discusses injury-riddled 2024-25 season for the Sixers. But while discussing it, he said something, and I want you to hear it, man. If you haven't read this, check out Kai Carlin on Sixers Wire, okay? The Philadelphia 76ers were expected to contend in the 24-25 season. They landed the big fish in free agency by bringing in Paul George on a 4-year, $212 million deal as he joined Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey to form one talented big three. Oh, yeah. So much talent. However, injuries decimated the roster. Was it injuries? Or was it the fact that these dudes are 50 years old? Embiid only played 19 games. George was limited to 41 games. Paul George played 41 games? I feel like he played 4 games. One of the lone bright... Maybe he only showed up in 4 games. One of the lone bright spots was the play of Geurschon Yabusele. The Dancing Bear... That's still a crazy name, and do not Google that. Was a pickup late in free agency and averaged 11 points, 5 rebounds, along with 2.1 assists while shooting 38% from deep. When we were discussing drafting Ace Bailey last night with my dudes NZ for 3 and Mike Sports 5, shout out to everybody that came through that live stream. When we were discussing possibly drafting Ace Bailey, we were talking about him starting or not starting. The topic came up of like, is Paul George then your starting power forward? And then I said, what about Geurschon Yabusele? I think Geurschon Yabusele is a starting power forward. Nick Nurse thinks he's a center for some reason. And, you know, Nick Nurse has a lot of things to figure out with the lineups coming up this season, especially after the draft. But anyway, one of the bright spots was Geurschon Yabusele. And I do think he's a starting level stretch 4 in the NBA. And I would love to see him return. And I would love to see him start at the 4 next to Joel Embiid. I would love Ace Bailey to start at small forward. I would love Paul George to get the fuck out of here. But it is what it is. Here we are. Anyway, Eastwood, get to the point! I gotta get back to work! In an interview with Basketball New York, Yabusele discussed the injury-riddled season. Injuries are part of the game. You got to learn and try to get back to it and get better. I think having Joel back, Paul George, this is going to be big for us. When we had those guys, we had that run, we felt that we could beat everybody. That was really interesting to have that part of the season because at least people know that if they were healthy, that would have been a different scenario. Now, that's all he said, but Geurschon Yabusele is an unrestricted free agent. He came over here from the EuroLeague, I did the math, about a $900,000 pay cut out of his own pocket. He had to pay his way out of his contract with Real Madrid. And so he's looking to get paid. He took a gamble on himself. I personally think it paid off massively. He was only going to make $10 million over the course of like 5 years in the EuroLeague. He's going to get that probably or more in one season in the NBA with this new contract that he's going to get. Anyway, he's an unrestricted free agent. He can go wherever he wants. He's saying he's talking about this upcoming season and says having Joel back, having Paul George back is going to be big for us. When we had those guys, we had that run, we felt that we could beat everybody. There it is. Chalk it up. Write it in blood. Geurschon Yabusele is returning to the Philadelphia 76ers. I do think I've been having this conversation a lot. Quentin Grimes is probably... I'm assuming that Quentin Grimes, after showing everybody his potential at the end of last season, I think Quentin Grimes is going to be looking for a larger role in an offense. And the 76ers with Joel Embiid back, Paul George back, Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, Quentin Grimes' role is not going to be as big as I think he wants it to be. That's what she said. And so I think you could see a situation where Quentin Grimes works out a deal with the Sixers. Look, I'm restricted. I get that. I don't want to play a lesser role. I want to go somewhere where I'm going to get starting level minutes. And I think you could see a sign and trade with Quentin Grimes. I do think you could see that. But anyway, that's what Geurschon Yabusele said. Give me all of your thoughts and opinions on that. Now let's get to the rumor. This one is interesting. The Sixers are sending out mixed signals about their plans with the 3rd overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft, per HP Basketball. Oh, it's that time of year where we're just taking shit from wherever we can get it. I've heard they're willing to move it. This is just hilarious. I've heard they're willing to move it for a star upgrade, want to keep it, and are fine with taking Ace Bailey. And that they are not fans and may take VJ Edgecombe instead. All options are obviously on the table for a team in their position, so that clears that up. So basically, this rumor is telling everybody that nobody knows what the 76ers are going to do. But I think it is giving us a little bit of information that, you know, I said yesterday I think there's an 87% chance they draft Ace Bailey. If this guy's hearing things correctly around the league, it's kind of up in the air. They're willing to move it for a star upgrade. First of all, I hope that's not true at all. How many more air quotes stars do you need? You know what I'm saying? Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Paul George are on a max contract. A star upgrade would be Giannis or Kevin Durant. You can't get Giannis or Kevin Durant without getting off of the Paul George contract because of the salaries. We talked about it last night for a little bit on that live stream. If you get Kevin Durant for 1 year and you get off of the Paul George contract, that's a win. It's a win. It's a win. And who knows how long Kevin Durant's going to play. Apparently he wants an extension. But that's the only scenario that I think would be a win for the 76ers if they're trading the pick for a star, is getting off of the Paul George contract and bringing in Kevin Durant for 1 year. Juan. Not two, not tres. 1 year. Unless he stays healthy. I mean, Kevin Durant could be good for 3 more years. Who knows? They also want to keep it. They're also fine taking Ace Bailey. They're also not fans of Ace Bailey and might take VJ Edgecombe instead. So I was like, all right, look at the comments on this, bro. I could have wrote this and I have no sources. Whole bunch of nothing from a reporter that just want to be right no matter what we do, basically. So you're saying they're going to do something with the draft pick. That's crazy. Literally said nothing in so many words. Why are you reporting what HP Basketball says? Because it's deep dive time. Anyway, I went over to Twitter AI and I said, hey, Grok, is that how you pronounce it? Can you find the original source of this quote? Grok told me the original source of this quote is a post on Substack newsletter, Hardwood Paroxysm. And I went to his Twitter page. He has 150,000 followers on Twitter, which I've never even heard of Hardwood Paroxysm, but I'm also not on Reddit, and Reddit is a big deal. So it's part of a Substack Reddit post, whatever the hell that means. And here it is. It's slop season. He talks about the market. He talks about everybody wants to trade up and down, except not really. And then at the end, he has a little bit of an Ace Bailey conversation. And this is where he says it. The Sixers are sending out mixed signals about that 3rd pick. I've heard they're willing to move it for a star upgrade, want to keep it, and are fine with taking Ace Bailey, and that they might take VJ Edgecombe. All options are on the table, so that clears that up. One Western Conference team not in contention is said to be interested in Bailey, trying to find ways to move up to get him. That's interesting. One Western Conference team not in contention is said to be interested in Bailey and trying to find ways to move up to get him. Let's go to standings. NBA standings, Western Conference last year, and look at the bottom teams. A Western Conference team not in contention who is trying to find ways to move up to draft Ace Bailey. That team has some assets the Sixers would probably like, but aren't going to be wowed by. It's a good starting place for a 3-team Paul George trade, though. You know what? Sixers, Philly Sixers Galaxy, you should have reported the second part of that, not the first part of that. This part is nothing. You should have reported the second part of this. One Western Conference team not in contention is said to be interested in Bailey. So, Western Conference teams that are not in contention: Utah, New Orleans, San Antonio, Portland, Phoenix, Dallas. I mean, if Kyrie and AD are healthy, well, Kyrie's going to be out still with the torn ACL. So I guess Dallas is not in contention. But the team has some assets the Sixers would probably like but aren't going to be wowed by. It's a good starting place for a 3-team Paul George trade. Utah, New Orleans, San Antonio, Portland, Phoenix, Dallas, Sacramento. Dude, if they trade with Sacramento, no. It's interesting, though, man. Give me all your thoughts on that. What team you think he could be talking about? What the assets could be. Anytime I hear Paul George and trade in the same sentence, it makes me happy. And I'm ready to turn it into a full-on rumor when I hear it. But there's that. There's where it came from. Now we got to hear this. Gilbert Arenas, who his podcast, people talk trash on it. They say that he doesn't have any idea what he's talking about ever. But every time I go to his YouTube show, there's 25, 50,000 people watching live. I mean, it's rivaling the numbers of the Pat McAfee show. It's doing that many numbers. So is it just entertaining? Are people just watching it to laugh? And but anyway, here's what he said, if you haven't heard it, that has him in hot water. Oh, hold up. We got to get it over here. There we go. Here's what he said about Karl Anthony Towns that has him in hot water.
After all on Cat himself. It's him. It's his physical makeup. Long legs, short torso, big ass feet. There's nothing he can do. He's built like a whole fucking bitch. He's built like
Bro. Yo. Oh my God, man. Listen, I respect doing a show and not being politically correct and saying whatever the hell you want, but and I'm not into cancel culture and the sensitivity of this country right now and things like that. But you probably shouldn't have said this, man.
Feet. There's nothing he can do. He's built like a whole fucking bitch. He's built like a female.
Clip that. No, clip that. No, fuck that.
Am I saying something wrong? Look, he's built like a girl.
Just for the YouTube bots, this is not my content. I am not the one that said this. Don't hit me with something because your AI caught some audio. I didn't say. Gilbert Arenas said it, not me.
No. He has girl hips. He's like a full WNBA player. After all on Cat himself.
I thought I was going to react to it, but I'm not even going to say anything, to be honest with you. I'm just not. Hey, give me your thoughts and opinions on everything, man, and tune in tonight. I have a friend of mine who is a Knicks fan coming on the show, and we're going to actually talk about the Knicks loss and the Eastern Conference, and we'll probably roast the Celtics also in my, roasting the Knicks. And it's going to be a fun one. I think I'm calling it Ask a Knicks Fan. My boy Andy is coming on the show to talk about the Knicks and the Sixers and the Eastern Conference and everything else at 9 o'clock tonight. So tune into that live stream, all right? I appreciate you. I love you. Have a great day.